So what happened? Why are you living out in the desert now, Echols?
Play the Bears. Ended up going to Virginia Tech where I had my BA and I had a master's. It was full scholarship for my master's there in political science. Then I went on to Johns Hopkins International Studies School in Washington, D.C., right across from the Brookings Institution, where it's the best international studies school there is probably in the world. And I earned my master's there as well. And after that, I decided to go on and go for a doctoral degree, which I completed at Ohio State University. That was also full scholarship. And so that's the quick summary of my educational background. Yeah, well then, after my education, I ended up working on Capitol Hill for a committee of Congress, the Education and Labor Committee. My boss was Joe Gatiss from Pittsburgh, and he was one of the top 5 Democrats in the U.S. Congress at the time. And he was a real good friends with Tip O'Neill. I got to know Tip O'Neill. I knew Chris Matthews, who's on TV right now, on his show on MSNBC called Hardball. We used to even use that word when I worked up there, play hardball, So I did that, and I worked for the committee and ended up working as a lobbyist after I left there for the oil and mining industry, the American Mining Congress. From there, I went on to work in the U.S. government. I worked in for the CIA and the intelligence community. I worked at the Naval Surface Warfare Center is what I did in the Cold War. Basically, my job was to monitor Soviet submarine activity. Then after that, I ended up working for the Federal Aviation Administration, and I became a senior executive there, and I was responsible for all the environmental policy for the FAA. Well, this expression I've come up with. You come to California on vacation and you leave on probation because if you fart out here, you're going to get arrested. I mean, it's amazing the number of restrictions they have out here on everything you do. I mean, dog compliance, drinking, no beverages on the beach, speed limits are really, I don't know, are just weird. The number of regulations on everything that you do is just phenomenal. You have to have a whole little dictionary out here to get by. And I guess I could just go on and on and on about it, and all the propositions and all these things that they come up with. It's like they're telling you how you have to live your life like your 3rd grade teacher would do. You're told every minute of what you can do and what you can't do. Every time you're looking around like, am I done? Am I okay? Am I obeying the law? So, what happens when you regulate like this? In the long run, you're going to just start affecting people's personal lives. You're not accomplishing the goals you set out to accomplish in the beginning, which is to make driving safer. Now you've changed everything towards the revenue device. It's tying up the courts. It's affecting people's personal lives. People take time out from work to go take care of their traffic tickets and so forth. And that's not good for the economy. That's inefficient. Loss of time in people's work time is detrimental. Your police force is now spending its time giving tickets when it should be doing something else productive in the community, serving and protecting, instead of standing out there getting people going 3 or 4 or 5 miles over the speed limit. Because that's their job, they have to give a ticket. So they're going to get the speeders. And speeder is relative. What's speeding? 15, 10, 5, 2, 3, whatever. But you would ultimately enforce it down to 0 would be your ultimate goal, to where everybody abides by the speed limit. Now, that's not efficient. That doesn't work. So that applies, if you want to make it a micro to macro, that goes to other regulations we have in our society, and you can overregulate anything. And how much do you want to pay for it? What do you want to pay to do this? What are you trying to accomplish? How are you using your resources? How does this, it's a cost-benefit analysis. Before you make these decisions, and you have to think down the road how it's going to affect your local community, how it's going to affect the people in the community, how it's going to affect the economic structure of the community. Is it beneficial or detrimental? It can become detrimental. And it will actually take resources away from other areas that you need to be placing the resources in to create a better quality of life. So be smart about this. Don't just make emotional decisions. Try to make logical decisions, rational. Think down the line. not even sure I should be walking on these train tracks. I'll probably get ticketed or arrested for walking on public rail line here. I have no idea. Wake up, folks. Vote for a man who really cares about democracy in America. Eric Coleman, a friend of mine. I think his heart's in the right place. I think he'd be on top of things. I don't think he would sell out to the special interest. He'd be your guy.